Man, check out the scenery. Now this is the kind of stuff that inspires people to do creative things, to actually make beautiful art. It doesn't matter if art is something you draw, paint, you capture, or even if it's in the form of songs. Well, speaking of songs, our guest for today is someone who has created a name for himself, creating beautiful art through song, especially folk songs. Well, he's the first snake that we'll be introducing to you in this series, where we introduce to you a series of successful people born in the year of the snake. His name is Azmyl Yunor. My name is Syed Farradino Omar, and you are watching In Person. Alright, let's check this joint out. Look at him, quintessential rock star, lepak king in a bangsal by the Tasik. Hey, Azmyl, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, just lepak.
Well, before I go and talk to you, I want to look at this view. So this is what inspires you to write, I think.
Maybe after writing then you lepak here lah.
After writing, to take it. This is to mind edit lah, I guess. Huh?
Yeah.
Alright, okay. Well, it's a beautiful place to be in. Well, again, thank you so much for having us, ladies and gentlemen. Azmyl, you know.
Thank you for coming, guys. Thank you for coming.
So, where are we actually?
We're in
This is.
Bengkel. It's my family has a farm here, grow orchids and stuff. So they're here all the time. Me sometimes.
So you come back here every now and then. Actually, we actually walked through some really nice orchid field back there, and we're gonna check it out later on. It's probably one of the prettiest locations we've ever had in person.
Awesome.
Okay, but we want to know about you. Of course, I have to admit to one thing. The name, Azmyl Yunor, has always been there for me. I'm familiar with the name. I'm not entirely familiar with the body of work. But then, having listened to your stuff from the internet and also from the CD, it's not your everyday Malaysian music kind of thing here, because it's folk, but it's not Malaysian folk. How does that pan out in the entire scenario of Malaysian art scene and Malaysian industry, from your perspective?
I think we've just limited ourselves to look at things in terms of genre. I think that's why. I mean, to me, I don't think I'm writing folk songs. Yeah, I'm writing songs. Full stop.
Okay.
I'm just writing songs. So
right.
The song comes out like that.
It just so
and whoever's
happens.
there, whoever my bandmates are, the limits of my ability to play will make such song. I think.
Yeah.
So so if it's folk or rock or whatever it may be, it comes out. That's an afterthought lah.
Right. Okay.
So songs lah. I mean, I'm really growing up. I really love songs. I love singing songs. I think generally people just love songs. So yeah. So I think my perspective is I'm just writing songs.
It's just songs, yeah.
It's just songs.
But I'm sure it's a conscious decision, because, I mean, like, the moment you introduce a banjo into the mix, then you know it's going to have a certain connotation and a certain sound that will lead people to think of certain things.
True.
Yeah.
I think I mean that's probably another aspect, because as a musician, you're actually first and foremost a fan. You're a music fan. So there are certain kind of music that I enjoy listening to that has maybe banjo a bit. I like a bit of folk rock, country rock. So always had a fascination with banjo. One day I got the banjo, but again my playing's very limited, so I could play those things. So wherever I can fit it in, I've tried my best to put it in lah. So it could be a Malay song but with a banjo, and all that. But again, I think that's where me as a musician, as a music fan, that side gets shown lah. I think maybe that's how the genre comes in. Maybe it's songs. I write songs that I enjoy listening to lah.
Right. So what would you say are the things that fuels your creative juices?
I mean, I think just living generally.
Yeah, because you like to observe, right? Because I read somewhere you're one of those people who like to just take a step back, look at things, and like really look at something.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's sorely lacking. I mean, growing up, I noticed I enjoy doing this. You know, I used to just wander around instead going particular places. You know, people hang out here. And I would just enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
Taking the bus ride from KL to take some express turun KL, go Pudu Raya, you know. So the whole journey became quite an adventure. By the time I meet my friends, it's already second half of the, you know, it's not the thing that I was going for. So I think we need to take a step back and, you know, life is there for us to live.
Yeah.
So, I think we're rushing too much. We're having too many goals.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure a lot of corporate leaders out there would actually strongly disagree with you. But this style suits you best, yeah?
Yeah,
This style suits you best.
Yeah, I think it's also my personality. I think I've reached point where
Chillax lah.
Chillax. I mean, I think that's a process. You know, growing up, I still don't know. I'm always searching. Who am I? Who am I?
Yeah. Speaking of chillax, you know, he told me to come relax. So I'm in my flip flops and we're supposed to be santai to the core today. So you actively write songs now. And what are the subjects that calls out to you the most?
Like I said, I think there's a variety of things. Could be something that's on my mind, or you know, I mean, songs also where I get to dispose of thoughts. Yeah, some people have a lot of thoughts in their mind. I think some people go mad because they have no channel for these thoughts or ideas. So I think some songs are that. Certain thoughts I need to distill it and throw it out.
Yeah.
You know? Lucky becomes a song lah, not nagging, you know.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. I mean, could be something also, or maybe on a particular day, a certain topic cross my mind, you know, some particular image or story, a news story, someone I know. So it could be a variety of things.
And these expressions, you're quite happy and comfortable with it being put out in this independent manner that you do, as opposed to, you know, subscribing to a certain ethos of a label. You're happy being independent?
Yeah, I mean, I see no problem running it that way. Plus, it wasn't.
But labels where the money is, and that's where what most musicians would actually take into serious consideration.
I think a lot of people, when they play music, they reflect, what can I offer the industry? Then you fit yourself to fit there. Whereas me, music has always been a personal thing.
Right.
It's therapeutic. So whatever came, listeners, etc., selling albums, industry is a plus.
Right.
I just do what I do. So.
Okay. We have to go for a short break right now. But when we come back, we're gonna. It's very interesting to see that your early days were, I think I mentioned to you, very melodramatic. Where, you know, the Azmyl Yunor that we know right now, before you came into existence, it was bandmates ditching, blah, blah, blah. So we want to get into that. And I have a very strong feeling by the end of this interview, I'll be in this tantric, calm sense because he's so chillax, and you know, that's the flow that we want to give you here. So stay with us on In Person. Don't go anywhere. You don't have to. You can just pretend you're going to the toilet and you will be there because you're in that state of mind. Stay with us on In Person.
What's stopping us from getting acquainted in this big city of endless?
Okay, we're back and we are here with Azmyl. So this is by far, I think, the prettiest location we've ever had for In Person.
Yeah, this is the Hexagon Green Farm in Dengkil, man. Yeah.
And this is what your parents do, yeah?
My parents do this, yeah. And it's a family thing too. Yeah.
It's a commercial orchid farm.
Yep.
Okay.
They do also tissue culture and other stuff. So, but orchids are a popular one, so you need space.
You know, so your parents, you were saying that your parents were actually scientists, yeah? Lecturers in university.
Yep.
And lo and behold, the son chose not to go into science, but chose to go into the arts.
But still a teacher also lah.
But still a teacher, okay, like that's the of course, because that's the other thing that you do. True. Yeah? You teach in Sunway.
Yep.
What do you teach again?
I teach in the performing arts program as a diploma. So I teach a lot of theory subjects. I love teaching. You know, make people think. So I mean, I love to spark that. So I mean, so teaching was never a career. I've never.
It's never been a career consideration.
Yeah, not at all.
So how did you land into it?
Just needed a job one time, part-time, you know. I was doing the music thing and just scraping by, then opportunity came to teach.
So, So you teach theory. So what sort of knowledge do you impart on the kids these days?
One of it, I think, is just to think critically. I think critical thinking. You know, also the thing about ideologies, seeing the world in different place. You know, so it's a bit philosophical. A lot of concepts, but I use popular culture. I use movies. I use songs. I tell them this is, you know, what's the place of all of this within this larger world.
Give us an example. You know, blow my mind here.
Okay.
Pretend I'm your student. Tell me something that make me go, wow.
I mean, like for example, let's take, like we were speaking of music genres, right?
Yeah.
You know, like genres don't just drop like a meteor out of nowhere and it's complete. Genres often exist throughout time, you know, simulating different things. So same thing like Malaysia lah. You know, Malaysia is not just one solid entity. We're so varied, you know. So we got all these different things that make up what it is now. But what it is now, what Malaysia is now, will not be the same Malaysia maybe even like 6 months down the line, 10 years down the line, 100 years, you know.
Yeah.
So we're always changing. So I always believe that. I always believe that change is the only constant thing.
Right.
And the journey is important.
So this is the Azmyl Yunor brand of knowledge, because I would imagine that all this stuff you actually picked up as you went along throughout the years. This is the experiences that have made you who you are, right?
True. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And well, that's been quite a journey that you've had. You went to study in Australia to do film. But the interesting thing was, before you went to Australia, you actually had a band.
I had a band.
And you actually had to detach yourself from the band, and they found a replacement.
I mean, that's not another thing. That's not another. But I became a fan of that band too.
Right.
And we became good friends again.
That's not what the write-up says. The write-up says you were depressed and you were feeling dejected because they found a replacement.
People love drama. You know, sadly, life is a lot more mundane than that, more drawn out. But yeah, I mean, but they are key. I think key parts of your life growing up,
of course,
changing, learning, and you know. And like I said, I mean, people say, oh, you like the whole solo thing, guitar troubadour thing. I say, no, I mean, because I didn't have a band, I was alone. What am I going to do? Sit around? I know people
play
just
different instruments at the same time.
That's too tiring, too much work. I don't want to do that. So you know, so I just picked up the guitar. I mean, that's all you need. All you need is a guitar, a singing voice, and hopefully stay in key. That's about it, man.
Hopefully stay in key.
Yeah.
You put hope in music. It's cool.
Hope's important.
Okay, but with that, the if I could call it, the birth of your songwriting career.
Yeah, you could say, I mean, career lah. You know, that's when I started. I realized I got a bunch of songs. What do you do with songs? Oh, albums. Okay, so you fit songs in albums. So then I got to know, you know, the DIY, the punk way of doing it. You know, making it your own. So
tell us about this punk way.
I mean, it's an ethos. I mean, doing it yourself. You know, DIY. I mean, this is. I mean, if you look at punk subculture, it's all about empowerment.
Yeah.
And you know, doing things for yourself. You know, so that was when things sparked in me. It's like, yeah, why wait for label? You can do it yourself. Why not learn? It's learning. People sign up courses, do business, learn about business, right?
Yeah.
Start on your own label. That's your own. That's a degree there. Yeah?
Right. Of
the
course.
experiences you go through. You know. So I think, for me at least, I think my learning pattern is I got to do it. Then I'll learn. I can't just sit around. So
when you did that first time round that you did it, you actually, it was A to Z. You wrote, you recorded it yourself, you played the instrument. So it was a case of, I would imagine, run, press record, come back.
Yeah. And it wasn't even a big recorder. It was just a really small cassette recorder. That's why, you know, they call my stuff lo-fi. Lo-fi is also quite a genre of the 90s, so because it was all analog cassette.
Yeah.
And my friends gave me some albums, and I said like, well, it sounds terrible, but the song is great. You know, some of these American bands from the lo-fi scene. So then I was thinking, I've been doing that. Yeah. I guess, okay, I'll release.
Because money does not beget talent. Because sometimes you just have the talent, but you don't have the resources and the means to make a polished version of something.
True.
But it doesn't mean that the quality of the initial work is not good, right?
True.
So that's an ethos, one of the ethos. That you live by. Okay.
And you know, whatever you do, you sustains the next work. And, you know, and I think for me the greatest gift is connecting, meeting other people. You know, through songs. Hey, people say I like stuff. Then you get to know them, or you meet other musicians. And you realize there's this whole community who's there. All this time you didn't realize they were there, and you feel not so alone.
Not so alone. That's so brilliant. That's one of the brilliant bits.
So I mean, this lo-fi sub-genre. It's from, I think, a sub-genre of punk, whatever, all these different kind of sub-genres. So friend introduced me some of these songs. And dengar same thing lah. First time I said, wow. It was liberating to know that you could actually release songs. The song is legitimate regardless of how fidelity. I mean, you don't make it sound terrible. You don't on purpose make it terrible, because if a song's got melody, you want to make it melody come out.
Yeah.
Unless you're purposely making a noise song. Yeah.
So, but then once you receive validation that such a thing exists, you whipped out lah whatever kerusi, kotak, all sit down, go and record je lah.
Whenever it came, the song arrives, you gotta capture it. Yeah.
Cool. But which is your favorite part of this entire process? Is it the doing or is it the sharing of music?
Sharing is a big part, I think, but it's not the only thing I enjoy doing. I think it's the germination of a song that I really enjoy. When it just arrives, I got this chord. Wow, that's a nice melody. What do I do now? Okay, think of words.
It's the spine tingling moments lah. You say, hey, best.
Yeah, then you might realize within like a song, let's say you write one in 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Right.
10 minutes ago there was nothing. Suddenly here's the melody, the song, the story.
Yeah.
It's a living thing. So, songs outlive its writers, correct? Not?
Correct.
So,
yes. I'm sure Michael Jackson would agree to that.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to go for another short break right now. When we come back, more inspirational stuff because I'm getting goosebumps listening and taking this all in. So stay with us on In Person.
What's stopping us from getting acquainted in this big city of endless?
Alright guys, we're in the final block. I forgot to establish why I'm carrying bottle of water, because you can hear it. I sound like a slightly more handsome version of a toad right now because I don't have voice. But so please apologize me carrying a bottle of water with me. But hey, he's the man, and we want to talk more about the stuff that you do. So currently, what are you working on right now?
Well, I just released a new album last year, 2012, Wilayah,
yeah.
So then I got my friends who play. I mean, they're playing my friends, and they call the Cigarettes. So they're backing me up. So we've been playing a lot of shows. But now I'm gonna work on releasing my older cassette stuff. I'll make just like a best of compilation.
Oh wow!
Or collector works. Yeah. So.
You are at that stage of your career already.
I realized I got damn a lot of stuff. So, okay, I gotta do something. Because a lot of people only know me from maybe now. Give some backstory.
Yeah.
So it's a bit like movies do that now, right? They got the origins or the episode 1.
Yeah. So you've gone down the film route of doing the.
I'm using that convention.
Yeah. The remakes. The remakes. So are you going to actually remake, or are you?
No, I'm just going to release originally. I'll pick few of the ones that I think.
Albeit being in lo-fi mode.
Being in lo-fi mode, but it'll be in CD lah. Clean it up a bit digitally. I'm also working on my other band projects. Got a band called the Maharaja Commission. We toured with an American band last year around Malaysia. First time they ever been in this part of the world. So it was quite interesting.
Yeah, it must have been.
Showing them around. So, and I'm also trying to finish up songs for my next CD.
What sort of, speaking of American bands and touring, what sort of experience do you have that you cherish the most about going out there and sharing your music with people?
Well, I think it's to realize that, sounds cheesy and a bit, but it's that, I mean, with music, you can always make a connection with people, regardless of
where you
language. Yeah, regardless of language. Played once in Korea. They couldn't. English was a barrier.
Of course, yeah.
So, but through the songs, they got something.
Yeah, well, yes, English was a barrier, but when they listen to. Alang Alang, for example. It's an English song suddenly with a quintessential Malay chorus.
Yeah, true. Maybe the sentiments come through, I don't know, maybe the intonation.
It's K-pop lah. We don't know what K-pop means, but then we still sing it.
True.
Other people sing it, I don't. Yeah, but it's the music and the melody that really transcends the barriers, right?
Okay. And I think some instrumental music also. I mean, I like instrumental music, some bands. And, I think again, it's not as direct, influences. People say like, oh, but you write songs with words. Why do you listen to instrumental music? I mean, whatever works. I mean, I can say the same thing. Why do you play golf? You're not a professional golfer. Why don't you go back to the office or something? So these things are never linked. The things we do, we just do. Could be, some.
So that means, you know, when you write a song and there's a story to tell, you don't particularly write it for certain people, because then that would denote the style you write the song in and the language that you use. But it's writing for your own purposes and sharing it in general.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much my modus operandi. You know, I write for myself lah, first and foremost. So I'm my biggest critic lah.
Okay.
You know, so
sure.
many. Yeah,
Are you sure you're your biggest critic? Because you say at the end of the day, after writing a song, you go and lepak in a bangsal by the.
Oh, yeah. I mean, probably. But maybe you know my critiquing takes a lot of energy out, even though it's very subtle. So you need to unwind sometimes. But I think you know, again, I'm not saying that, you know, I don't care or anything. You know, people might come off as this guy chincai, just doing this. But no, it's not that. I mean, it's an art form. I enjoy doing it, and the art form also is meaningful to share with people, and it's performative. It's a song. You know, if I go into painting, I wouldn't be, you know, singing. I'll be having exhibitions.
Correct. Yeah.
So I think it's. I got a feeling that we don't look at music in the same way, or even any popular form, music or film, the same way we treat looking at, I don't know, paintings or books, because those tend to be more classical, longer around. So yeah.
Now, of course, in this show, we try to bring out the most positive sides of the respondents, and we talk about the most inspirational success stories, and what you've shared with us so far is indeed very inspirational, because it just shows that single-handed want to create, which is brilliant. But in the field of music, success is measurable in different ways, and a lot of commercial musicians out there would be by amount of money in their bank at the end of the day. So what would you say are your most immediate benchmarks now, and how would you further yourself moving forward?
Wow, that's a tall order. But I think, like you said, single-handed, but also, what was the other word? Singlehood. Singlehood, and both are important, because, you know. Well, I think the next step is to just doing what I'm still doing. You know, I don't see this. Like I said, it's a philosophy of mine. You know, I believe that the journey is more important than the destination. So I treat this as a journey. I'll keep on doing as long as you know, I'm still able to. You know, I'm still healthy. You know, and keep on doing that. You know, until it sucks, or probably, I don't know. if that comes to be, then, you know, maybe it's time to do something else then. You know.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that my benchmarks are often really quite in long terms, rather than, like, you know, thinking of instant gratification or success.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think it's we will leave it at that, and what I like the most about this interview was that the unassuming nature of this entire interview. It was just a very chillaxed conversation, yet you still managed to inspire me to think that if you have something to do and you want to do it, and you feel that it's the right time to do it, regardless of what you have where you are, just do it.
Just do it.
Because if you don't, then you have not done it.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's a good lesson. Azmyl, thank you so much for your
welcome.
time.
Thanks, Dino.
So I'm going to walk that way into the orchids, and you're going to walk away into the sunset.
Yeah, my car's parked somewhere there.
Well, you've been with me, Syed Farradino Omar, and I've spent the last half an hour with Azmyl Yunor. Well, previously I would introduce him as folk singer and songwriter, but now it's just singer and songwriter, because well, the type, the genre, the form it comes in is decided as and when. Okay? And you've been watching In Person, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
See you, man. Okay.
Hidup sampai 100 minum kopi. Hidup sampai 100 sakit hati.